Whoa!
What?
What's this? They show the vetoes, and Turtle is the veto, but still it's the first map. What?
Eh?
You see that? You see
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I think it's a mistake because it's Last Refuge is the first map.
Yeah, I think last refute as well,
Yeah.
exactly.
Last Refuge, Twisted, and Ancient Isles.
Alright, so Ancient Isles bad human map, Twisted, fairly balanced. Last Refuge, also pretty balanced, I'd say. Yeah, that's the thing with the 4 vetoes here. Fanta is not going to be getting 2 good maps for himself.
True that.
So, gonna be tough here. Yumiko usually was always incredibly strong against the undeads. Historically, does maybe Fanta have an answer?
Well, we haven't seen any games of his since WCA 2014, I guess.
I can't remember any more recent ones.
Yeah. He was not in the was he in the qualifier for 2015?
Oh god.
I can't
It's
remember.
too long ago,
Yeah,
man.
I can't remember. So, adjusting the colors. Red and
Alright.
blue. Oh wow, nice.
Last Refuge is gonna be our first map here of this best of 3 between Yumiko and Fanta. And we have to mention it again. Yumiko, the big favorite here, not only because of his accomplishments, not only because of recent performances, but also because of historically him being so strong in this matchup. He makes the expansion work very well, takes very little damage, the harassment is on point with the Archmage, he makes the Undead's life very, very difficult. He has fallen to undeads before, though, especially on Ancient Isles. We saw this siege with fiends and statues, destroyers and
Dark
meat
Ranger.
wagons. And the Dark Ranger as well. Yes, exactly. The big thing, the Dark Ranger, the WFZ brought into the metagame. But we only saw that second hero choice on Ancient Isles.
Yeah.
Of course, here on Last Refuge, your expansion is way easier to take and usually also a lot quicker, unless maybe Yumiko changes up his creep route, going for the mercenary camp, but usually you don't do that here. It's just a bit of a too tough creep camp to take, and of course with this being LR, the MK is always a possibility, and Yumiko is gonna choose the Mountain King here first.
Indeed. I hope Chechi is not watching because he will get nightmares once again. Mountain King, once he gets level 3, is so powerful with his Stormbolt, obviously. And I think we haven't seen a Mountain King first against human in quite some time.
I think Yumiko plays it every now and then, though.
Okay.
I think Infi definitely prefers the Archmage, but I think Yumi sometimes chooses the MK, depending on the map, of course. Well, of course, in the beginning stages, the DK has to be afraid of the bolt surrounds. Even if he doesn't die, forcing the TP will give the humans so much space. What's the DK gonna go for here? A little bit of creeping or instant harass? Footman scouting the main base, forcing the narrow tower, slowing down the tech a little bit. And by the way, the undeads nowadays in China don't go for the backpack upgrade anymore. Only costs 25 lumber, but still delays your tier 2 a little bit. It seems like they don't want that to happen.
Right, creeping now the High Priest, but this might be scouted and might be stolen with the Stormbolt. He finds him now, there's not too much to lose, except of course the Death Knight. But okay, the Ensnare, it's a little more experience on the Mountain King. Can he deny it? Nope. So Fanta is a big question mark for us. We don't know his strategies, we don't know his shape currently. But since he won that pre-qualifier, he must be kind of good. Definitely better than Xiao KK or Xiao K, who I saw in the second edition here, to be honest.
Yeah, we also we also saw a lot of surprising performances before, so maybe he is gonna be up for one of those as well.
Possible. I just saw that Chechi joined the stream, and the first thing he sees is Mountain King first.
That's bad timing. Very bad timing.
Alright, expansion coming up for Yumiko. Getting closer to level 2. What is Fanta going to do? He still did not finish his first spot, and he values the wards or the reju potion that high that he's not going for the arrest but for the creep. And he gets the Watcher wards.
Yeah, I think about this is also, it's pretty damn safe that you're gonna be able to get something here. When you go for the harass, you might just be getting nothing at all, and that's of course very, very inefficient time usage. So he's taking basically very little risk here, but also he cannot hope to get a big reward. So playing it safe, in short, is the undead player. Getting another set of sentry wards so he can have a lot of vision around the map might be very useful later on. And of course the fast expo coming up for Yumiko. Lumber mill already up and operational. And the MK, with this being LR, can take many small creep camps, will get level 3 and doesn't need the healing. That is why MK is viable here, for example, and not on Amazonia, where you need the water elementals to tank the damage. But the DK at the same time finds some levels, and question is, when is he gonna be harassed? DK would love to get level 3 without hindrance from the human side, but I imagine with level 3 Yumiko might become aggressive.
Ooh, lucky end snare for Fanta here. He will get this footman, so additional experience, using the coil even to speed things up and making sure that the footman will not run away when whatever. Close to level 3 after this spot, or level 2.5 at least, but here comes
Oh, he's
Yumiko.
being greedy. He's being greedy. He's not retreating in time. Big mistake by Fanta. He saw this coming with a sentry ward. This was not supposed to happen. He could have sent the fiends away, let the skeletons deal with the rest of the creep camp. Bolt, possible surround on the DK, but the counter surround is there, and the DK will get out, or will he? 2 more bolts remaining, tries to get the fiend without the bolt, will not work, but with the bolt should definitely be no issue at all. Is that a surround? I'm not sure. He's a double surround! Oh god! The double surround. The counter surround not paying off, and the bolt will get the kill on the fiend.
Yeah.
That's of course what we're used to seeing from this matchup, bolts killing fiends, but honestly, that was a big mistake by Fanta.
Running in there when he saw, okay, there's still a bolt available, there's a good amount of footmen to surround, and yeah, that attempt to save the fiend cost him a town portal and the fiend in the end. The expansion is up, towers are coming as well, and no tier 2 on the way yet. Defend upgrade is coming, but of course he had a great early game, Yumiko did. 2 fiends he got, expansion is up, uncontested, no level 3 Death Knight, and the town portal is gone.
And Yumi, interestingly, going for the Goblin Laboratory here. He's going to take a lot of damage on all of his peasants. I guess he can heal him up again with the Scroll of Regen, but they will not be very strong and very available for a fight should it come very soon. But he finds the Book of the Dead before Destroyers are out, an excellent item.
Yeah, and he has the staff already, so he can maybe send in a footman into the base, staff on it, use the Book of the Dead on the gold mine or the acolytes. If Fanta's reaction is slow, then he definitely has a problem here. Lich level 2, sold the item, I guess, no, Wen of Mana Stealing, and Skull.
Yeah, that's probably just going to be for the regen. He's going to set up a siege position here. And by the way, the second barracks coming in. That's something signature Yumiko likes to do, that lots of footmen against the tier 2 under pressure. And it seems like the Undead is going to commit to the tier 2 wagon style here. No wagons just yet. And the barracks may actually not be coming up. Is he going to be able to cancel that? That would be a nice pickoff, but there's enough peasants here, so should be able to get that barracks up. But still only tier 1. This game is not going perfectly for Yumiko. His tech certainly far behind. But lots of peasants, lots of footmen should be able to repel this. And remember, there's no TP on the DK. Does the counter surround work? Oh, he keeps it close with the Book of the Dead. And this DK is toast.
And he calls for the GG. Very quick game. Only 8 minutes. And I think this not harassing at all style of Fanta, that did not work, and that was one of the best maps for him, man. Twisted is kind of favored for human, and Echo Isles as well. Or was it Echo Isles, the third map?
Oh, no, Ancient Isles.
Ancient Isles, okay. Yeah, so he has one good map at least for him, and he will pick that immediately.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to go for Ancient Isles right here. Some people play MK on Ancient Isles, but usually not the top end of players. Usually they go for the Archmage. But I think the passive gameplay early on is okay as long as he doesn't lose those 2 fiends. And he really, really shouldn't have. There was a sentry ward in position. He saw the army coming, and he still stuck around. That was just a big mistake you cannot afford to make versus Yumiko. And yeah, Ancient Isles is the obvious map choice for him next.
Okay, that's gonna be a lot better, I guess. We saw Shun beating Infi on this map. We saw WFZ coming very close to defeating Yumiko on this map. This is the best undead versus human map there is. And if it's not working
apart
here,
from Turtle Rock.
Apart from Turtle Rock, obviously, but that's vetoed most of the times.
Yeah, so question is, did he see the games? Probably. Does he want to go Dark Ranger as well? I could definitely see this. And in those games with the Dark Ranger, Yumiko, interestingly enough, always, after setting up the expansion, runs away with the Archmage towards the Undead main. That is always very ineffective, and that always resulted in him taking way more damage than necessary. So, Yumiko, has he adjusted? I would hope so. He is a world-class player, and he must have seen that flaw in his game. So, even if there is a Dark Ranger, this time with Yumiko having adjusted, having experienced this before, it might not be as powerful.
Alright, the game starts here on AI, and my Warcraft is not loading.
Sometimes it takes some time.
Is it working for you?
Yep.
That's not good. I will get a disc pretty soon, I guess, hopefully. Ah, yeah, there's the disc, so we have to rehost. Sorry! Is NetEase easy to set up, asks Todd. It was back then. I think you need a Chinese phone number now for the account.
Yeah, someone said that. I'm not 100% sure on whether that's true, but a lot of people have been saying that they have an issue with that. So nowadays, apparently, you do need the phone number, and that's of course not easy to acquire.
But it's a great thing to have, especially for watching games with the NetEase TV feature. It's just good. If it works. And it works most of the time. So are you stuck in the loop, or are you back into the lobby?
I'm not in the lobby. I just closed the game. Are you in the lobby?
Yeah.
Alright, maybe they couldn't invite me because I was still
No, okay, now I'm invited.
Now I get the invite. Alright. There we go.
Ah, sorry.
Not blue.
No, I know.
Alright, touch nothing.
What?
Touch nothing.
Touch nothing. No.
I said. Alright, this could be our last map of today, everybody. If Yumiko wins here, he is the 2-0 victor of this series. But historically, in the recent past, he has been very unsuccessful here against Undead. I think he lost every match of his against Undead on Ancient Isles recently. So this is definitely Fanta's biggest chance to take at least a map of his opponent. And map score does matter as well in the group stages, not only the win.
That is correct. And we are in game now. 1-0 for Yumi. Spawns in the upper left and the Undead in the bottom right. That's like... in 90% of the cases, that's how the player spawned somehow. Human in the upper left, the Undead in the lower right.
I think that's nonsense, Neo, but let's not get into likelihoods again.
You know, on Echo Isles, the tomes?
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Exactly. Alright, so we have the TED build order coming out of the Undead again. This matchup is pretty much set in stone for the first, I would say, 5 minutes. Human takes the ogres. If he's perfect, if he does it absolutely perfectly, the Undead will not be in time to get a last hit, but that's pretty hard to do. Then usually he takes the little gnolls right next to his base, and then he runs towards this expansion, giving him almost level 3. And this is where the first problem comes in, because it's only almost level 3. It's not level 3. So, especially if the undead is able to steal last hits with a coil, that keeps him from level 3, and of course, the water elementals to level 2 are desperately needed in the early game. And if the undead does it perfectly, he keeps up the pressure all the time, making it very hard for the human to creep anything else, because if he does, his peasants might be suffering the damage. And of course, with there being a tavern in the middle of the map, close to the expansion, this becomes even more dangerous when you start losing peasants and your opponent snowballs with the black arrow, creating skeletons for himself. So this is why this map is bad. This is why this map has been lost by Yumiko quite a few times now in recent past. And this is why Fanta needs to win here. Otherwise, of course, he has lost 2-0.
Alright, I think you explained basically everything. We can be silent now for 10 minutes. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I have nothing to add to that, basically. I think it's pretty fun to watch this matchup on this map, because there's always some stuff going on. Bad thing for the Scourge fans and for the Fanta fans is, I think Yumiko is the best of the 3 humans to get his expansion up here on this map. Better than Infi, always calling like 9 peasants for securing the expo. And it works pretty damn well for him.
And also, good job with the first creep camp here. He did do it perfectly, so the undead cannot get anything from this. No peasants, no creeps, no water elementals. So good job there by him. And now, question is he going to be greedy? Is he going to be going for the expansion right away? Or does he take the green camp? That of course slows down your expo, but that makes it easier for you to get to level 3. He has the arcane tower in his main, as is of course standard and required. And the undead does not start teching. We see a deviation here. It is ghouls. It is not the Ted BO.
Yes.
It's not going to be the fiends.
That is really weird. So he knows that it's going to be so hard for Yumi to get this up. And ghouls can do great if they're not sniped one after another. But with only level 1 water elemental, the likeliness of this is pretty small. But of course...
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I like this. He's actually creeping a spot before, and after taking this camp, he's almost level 2. He only needs like a peasant or something. No, wait. Actually, this spot does give him level 2. Just barely gives him level 2. This is really cool, I think, because it is easily takeable with the ghouls thanks to the berserkers having medium armor. And he's still gonna be in time for the harassment of the expansion. He's gonna have level 2. He's gonna have quite a few ghouls. And if he's lucky, he finds a lightning shield here, by the way. This could also be a new strategy for undead, so Ancient Isles keeps on getting worse and worse for humans.
It's true. Reach a potion for the Death Knight is of course an awesome drop as well. We see again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 peasants for Yumiko. Did I count that correct? Crazy for a steal. Was it? I think it was.
No, it was not stolen. A little bit too late. And yeah, he wants to make damn sure he gets this expo. Even if he loses peasants, he will have more than enough to set up the expansion regardless. Archmage, still not level 3, I said before, tough getting this if the Overseer goes over, and it does! The Archmage will have a tough time. The DK has more experience than the Archmage now. And again, Ancient Isles proving to be tough for the human race.
And there's Backpack on the ghouls. He has a second set of rods. Used one, and he's kind of surrounded, but he gets out of there easily, killing another footman. Almost level 3. So much experience. A ghoul is surrounded. Can he fight out? He... expands his life for a second, sending the next ghoul away. Can he get it surrounded the Archmage? No, the amount of ghouls is not high enough anymore.
Oh, nice. Surrounding the ghoul there. Surrounding ghouls and footmen actually is really difficult because they're so small. The DK with this footman kill will be level 3 and he secures it with a death coil. Now level 3 Death Knight already, but also the Archmage was able to find his level 3 thanks to the ghoul kills, but just barely scratching above level 3. Is this gonna be a Dark Ranger? He's going towards the tavern. He has to wait a few more seconds. And he knows there's lots of peasants and lots of footmen, a few of them hurt. So a Dark Ranger might make sense. Here comes the graveyard. Oh, that's bad macro. That is way too late.
Indeed, no fiends against the towers for such a long time, no slaughterhouse, no tier 3 tech. He has to work with what he has, more ghouls apparently. And no Dark Ranger just yet, he's supply stuck as well. Oh, the ziggurat, yeah, he forgot the ziggurat as well.
Oh, the macro is horrible. Like, this was good creeping, good harassment, good strategy. But the macro is terrible, honestly.
Yeah. And that destroys his entire game plan. Another surround on the ghoul, maybe? Nope, he escapes here, but what can he do with a few ghouls? Once there's towers up, I mean... Oh, the expo is still not up because there's lumber issues for Yumiko. He pulled too many peasants.
A few too many. Maybe he was supply stuck as well, not able to reproduce peasants back at home, but now it is up, finally, the town hall for him. Tier 3 has been started. I mean, what else is he supposed to do? He can't produce units, he can't get anything because his macro is so bad, so I guess Tier 3 it is. Can Yumi... Oh, I think he cancelled his graveyard, delaying the slaughterhouses by so much. Oh, he can't lose this. Acolytes need to be coming out for repair, but no, he has to cancel. Oh boy. This makes pretty much every strategy maybe impossible, I don't know, but certainly much worse.
Yeah, you can't even go for necro wagons or something, because of course you need wagons to make this work. And that you need a slaughterhouse for. Oh man, Yumiko is keeping up the pressure. Once more experience from the ghouls here, but he was not able to pick up a lot. Getting another surround, sending the ghoul back. But yeah, experience to level 4 is not that important. What? Nice micro by Fanta so far with the ghouls here.
I want to say that as well. His micro is on point, but you need a little bit more than that to defeat Yumiko. Multitasking still doesn't seem to be on par. And now he's fighting level 3 water elementals with ghouls, but nicely still saving every single one. Pretty well done. Oh, the slaughter at the graveyard again. He is committing a lot of footman kills to this kill, but I think it's definitely worth it. The water metal providing the brunt of the damage, gets it again, loses most of his footmen. But look at this. There's tier 3 finish in a second. And still no slaughterhouse even in production. There he gets it now, way in the back. Alright, this graveyard will finish,
yeah,
but...
finally, but it's so late.
Oh,
Lich second, okay, he has that. But apart from that, it's only ghouls. It's not even mass ghouls. It's 5 of them. The rest is pretty damn hurt. Oh, well, they are recovering quite fast on the Blight. But in the meantime, Yumiko's expansion is running and running and running and running. More towers are coming. Tier 2 tech by Yumiko halfway through. And he gets masonry upgrade. And once the guard towers are up, there's no fun for the ghouls anymore.
And look at how offensively these towers are placed. Pretty cool. He knows there are no fiends that can operate from range. You know, fiends usually you want to hide your towers behind fortified buildings, but he knows, alright, there's only ghouls and destroyers are far away. So I can position my towers very, very offensively to more effectively defend my main buildings of expansion and main base. So cool, nice little deviation here. It's only tower play, but Yumiko adjusts and plays this pretty damn well. But now he only has a couple of footmen left, so his army is way inferior currently. Basically thanks to only the Lich and the Orb. So he's harassing right now as best as he can to get time for the later stages. His tier 3 is still far away. He was delayed significantly. Nova, by the way, onto the footman, losing another one. Oh, nice round again. Man, this micro is nothing to scoff at.
Yep.
But still, that graveyard mainly makes this game tough for him.
A lot of skeletons being used. The rod charges, only one left. So that's make. Oh no, he has a second one. So never mind. That's why he had so much, so many skeletons at the same time here. Water metal being dispelled. No experience for the Lich, which is actually a big deal for Fanta. But he's getting that creep. Yumiko has no chance of contesting this with only 2 footmen. Claws plus the 6 for the Lich. And he's becoming a decent damage dealer here as well. The question is, will this save the game for him somehow? The graveyard is finally finished. The slaughterhouse is fine. Double slaughterhouse, actually. Coming up.
Alright. Gonna be a destroyer push, but the latest one we've ever seen, probably.
And a panda third.
Okay. Playing this kind of old school. Ghouls into mass destroyers with a panda. The good thing for the undead here on this map, as well as a few other things we've already seen, is there's very few creep camps. So with his map control right now, with his better army right now, he can basically creep the entirety of the map that is left. And the human will have nothing left to creep himself, apart from maybe a few small camps. So the MK will be very weak, and the panda and Lich might be able to find level 3. So Yumiko's distracting here with the footman is pretty nice, getting some more time out of the undead, who honestly, I think at this point it's too late to break anything. I think he needs to creep up every single camp that there is, counter-expand himself, and then somehow try to defend against tanks.
Yeah, will it be tanks? Oh, it will be tanks. Alright, triple workshop, I didn't see that yet. So yeah, that's gonna be a tough task. But with ghouls, it might work if he keeps on sending them back when they're hurt. He does a good job saving ghouls here. And yeah, now it's time for Fanta to creep up, getting the red spot here, but that's kind of risky. Fiend being stormbolted, but immediate focus switching to the MK, trying to go for a surround again, and it barely works. No Staffy, but both heroes are actually hurt. No Nova. Oh, there it is! Coil Nova, Mountain King dead.
Alright, Yumiko trying to invest a little bit more time to try to slow down his opponent. Sacrifices an MK for it, but I think that's basically worth it. He just wants time for his tier 3 to finally roll around and for the tanks to create some space for him, and we see the first two in production. They're supposed to drive the undead back, force him to defend, opening up some space on the map so that he can finally get some more experience. And yeah, that's good strategic play, and I think Fanta is a little too time inefficient. He should be first of all solo creeping a second and third hero, and secondly not become distracted so much anymore by his opponent.
Yeah.
The good thing though is he has a lot of ghouls and they do have frenzy, so he has a pretty good defense against tanks.
Second red spot for Fanta now. Heal wards this time. Okay, they won't do that much against tanks, of course. Second skull and the first destroyer up in the air. So we can dispel the water elementals finally. They're only level 2, so it's easy to dispel them compared to the water torrents. Level 3 on the Lich is coming in very, very shortly. And the Panda is level 2 already as well with Drunken Brawler.
And he keeps on creeping the DK here all the time. Maybe he values the coil level 3 so highly. Maybe it's just a little bit too lazy to pull him back. I don't know. Finding, by the way, here the Robe of the Magi. Very nice item for the Lich. Maybe even for the Panda. But probably wants to give it over to his second hero. And the tanks are slowly but surely coming. Look at this. They were expecting an expansion already by the Undead. But there's nothing here.
Nah, he would have had the time though. But the question is, would he be able to defend it? And I doubt it.
And now Fanta is deciding to attack the expansion with a destroyer push. Certainly surprising to me, and I think it's also going to surprise Yumiko. But it's 4 destroyers, that's decent. But we have 8 towers here. Is that going to be good enough? We don't have a level 2 breath just yet. I don't know, gonna be close.
One destroyer already coiled, losing so much hit points. But so far it's working. 3 towers down, 4th one down. Yumiko will he town portal? I think he has to. 5 towers down. But the mana on the destroyer is becoming less and less. But he might get rid of all of them. 3 tanks are now approaching the Black Citadel. But he got rid of all the towers.
Yeah, man, this was so big, really big. And a big surprise as well. I didn't think about this, and Yumiko was also not expecting this attack anymore. If he was expecting such an attack, he would have started with gyro production, and now he might be in trouble. The tanks are in the base, but again, ghouls are there, but I'm not sure they have frenzy. But all towers are gone, all peasants are dead. Level 5 for the DK, and here comes the TP back, and with that, that should be enough to save his Black Citadel. He doesn't have Breath of Fire. Yes, he does actually. Almost level 2 breath, there we go. And is that gonna be enough? He doesn't have the resources anymore to repair. He sold something, I think, to keep his Black Citadel alive. Only 2 hits away from death.
That's a fun match we're seeing here, man. The undead heroes leveling up quite fast. 5-3-3. The expansion is exposed to the next push, and Yumiko, well, he has a good amount of gyros now. He can switch into night production as well, but his heroes completely underleveled. 3-1-1, and as long as you keep the paladin low, I think this can work for Fanta. But the gyros.
This bad game that he had. Oh, the gyros. There is the Panda, though, however, against this time. Doesn't have that much mana. The Robe of the Magi is on him. He has 1 more breath right now, but the destroyers for the most part are already dead, so they did their job now. The Paladin of Trouble Staff, though, keeps him alive. Level 2 finally for the MK. The destroyers provide the experience for the human at the moment, but now the Mountain King might be in trouble. Staff is on cooldown on the Archmage. He has to know this. Swapping over the TP. Whoa! Dodging the coil in the very last second. But now, human army is gone. Expansion is exposed, but he is not attacking. Why? I don't understand.
Invo potions, maybe. Oh, I don't know what he's doing there. Creeping, continuing to creep. Seems not to be the greatest option here, but he's doing exactly that. Of course, he lost his entire army here. All the ghouls are gone, all the destroyers are out of the air.
But the main thing about the destroyers is you need them to break the towers, but the towers are gone. He doesn't really need that many destroyers anymore. The expansion is incredibly vulnerable. Oh, big mistake again by Fanta. Like, this expansion would have been such an easy attack. Just buy a TP in case you need to get out. I don't know. Maybe there's something here I'm missing, but this looks like a big mistake to my eyes.
He has a few additional acolytes here, so maybe he's going for the expansion now. Yes, he's calling an acolyte. Ooh, I don't know if that's the correct choice. There's a lot of gyros scouting it immediately. And he sees the acolytes.
And the thing also about acolytes and, or rather about expansions is you open up yourself even more for tank aggression, because there's gonna be coming 3 to your expansion, 3 to your main base, of course, given that the human has enough resources for this. And then you have a really tough time dealing with them. When they're all in one place, your Frenzy Ghouls and your Panda can fairly well deal with them. But when you spread yourself thin like this, it's way more difficult. I don't like this last few decisions by the Undead, I do have to say.
4 tanks on the map, and they're rolling towards the Undead main again. Do we have upgrades? Yeah, 2-0 already. Wow, that's quite a lot. He needs some more gold to be able to repair this, but he's quite close, and with the Orb of Corruption and the Panda, he might be able to defend this. First Abomination now on the field. Hero's still looking strong, but he's soaking up experience with his Death Knight, who is already level 5.
Yeah, he's been keeping this, doing this all this time, but it's also understandable because otherwise this takes so long. Nice steal with the Stormhammer, getting the last hit on the Ogre Magi. Now Frenzy Ghouls coming in, and there's nothing too great to deal with them. No clap, I don't think, or maybe there is, but even if there is, it's only level 1. And of course, Water Elementals, easy pickings here for the Undead army. Where are the gyros? Did he reproduce some? They're still sitting in the expansion. 6 of them are left alive. And he's not going into more gyros. He was not expecting any more destroyers. And he surrounds one tank here nicely. Many surrounds coming out of Fanta this game. This one will be saved, however, with the staff. And by the way, expansion attempt number 1 was cancelled by a single tank killing it.
Yeah. Well done by Yumiko, just sending 1 tank in. And yeah, Fanta, he's the entire time at 51 food. Lost a lot of gold because of that, because of the additional acolytes. They don't do anything at the moment. And he calls for the GG. He knows, okay, the expansion of the human will pay off. Maybe a wrong choice because, because the heroes were great.
What a weird game.
Yeah, that was indeed a weird game. But finally, one of the favorites made it. Yumiko winning 2-0 against Fanta.
Why did he GG out there? The main bases didn't have much in them anymore, and he had a Panda against the tanks and the Frenzy Ghouls. And the thing about tanks is they're really annoying, but they're also fairly expensive, mostly because they don't trade, they just die. And you can't keep doing that forever when you're the human. When the main gold mine is dry, then you can't afford to be going for those mass tanks. And he can't really go into that massive of a gyro production either, because again, only 1 base. And he had a Panda against the gyros as well, so I'm completely confused.